Today, on our Spotlight series, we continue our discussion with Brian Reuter, partner at Permira, as he dives deeper into artificial intelligence and shares how private markets are leading the way in breakthrough innovations. But you also mentioned that the way to invest in artificial intelligence, as you're doing, is by looking across different sectors, and really AI impacts all the industry verticals. So maybe give us a couple of examples in real life. What kind of applications are these healthcare and consumer companies building that are leveraging AI?
So 5 years or so ago, we acquired it's a healthcare business in Australia called iMed, which is a collection of radiology clinics. And part of the asset there was actually petabytes of image data together with diagnosis, which are a AI training dream. And we're able to, via joint venture, really turn those into a system which can significantly enhance the physician in making radiological diagnosis for a head scan, chest scan. The innovation is actually happening today, and the products like work today. It's really exciting to see that, already when it's in the setting that we've used it in. On the consumer side, we took private a company many of you may know called McAfee a few years ago, which is pure consumer, digital consumer protection. And a big part of what that company has been able to do, if you think about like where threats are happening in your home, in your workplace, the machines that are defending your network are getting sophisticated at, Moore's law and beyond. So they're increasingly every year getting better at defending against threats. Humans are not getting smarter over time. And so the relative weakness of humans
Over
versus
age.
software, yeah, it's pretty weak. And so if you think about what on the bad side of AI, the quality of the threats that are coming in terms of spoofing professionals at your firm or pretending like they're your grandson who's in jail and needs money wired. They're going to be very, very good. The phishing scams, the email quality of what's going to come into your system that will be highly personalized. So having what McAfee has done is used AI themselves to be able to create deepfake detection, to be able to monitor what's happening in your communication streams, to be able to alert you when you're getting something, you're seeing a video, you're getting an email that appears to be a scam that in part was generated with AI. So that on the consumer side as well, we're seeing really interesting innovation happening there. And in a way that's like, look, it's defending against something that's going to be a really scary trend heading into, an election cycle in particular.
Yeah, and how effective is something like that, this anti-AI cybersecurity tool?
It can detect deep fakes it hasn't seen before. And actually a lot of how it does this is by processing the audio feed of what's coming through, because there's very, efficient ways that these things can be plucked out when it has been modified or generated by another AI system. So it has a very meaningful impact on being able to pick up fraud.
Well, it sounds like a lot of interesting applications are coming up that we're not really widely talking about in public markets. And I guess on that note, the world has been just, taken by storm by some of the semiconductor trends that we see in public markets, or just, some of the biggest companies like Microsoft and Google. But, what do you think are going to be some of the breakthrough applications that we're not talking about now, but we might be talking about this time, a year from now?
Well, so far everybody's been talking about the actual infrastructure, right? The kind of platforms on which you can build AI applications, and kind of the horizontal, like ChatGPT is an amazing application. It's a very horizontal application today. What's going to come in the next couple of years are all of the verticalized, like highly specialized apps that will sit on top of those big platforms, the Microsoft and OpenAI, Google, Amazon, the like. That's going to be a big trend for the next couple of years. And this isn't like pie in the sky way out there someday in the future. You're going to start to see real enduring enterprise consumer applications coming out in the next 12 months. I should say, like, part of what's so cool about this particular trend is that unlike a lot of prior big industry, earth moving trends like cloud, internet, mobile, we think there's a disproportionate benefit in this one to incumbency. It doesn't mean there's not going to be lots of new companies that build cool new applications. There absolutely will be. There always are with new technology trends. But in this case, you have companies that own huge data sets, which are really crucial to being able to train more verticalized applications. In addition, they have AI teams. I mean, most of the companies that we've been invested behind on the technology side have had AI teams for decades. So you're just giving new tools to teams who already know what to be able to do with them. And so the time to value from deploying some of these tools is much faster than when you had to completely re-architect your core product stack around, for example, cloud or mobile.
Yeah, well, sounds like the next 12 months is going to be maybe even more exciting than the last 12 months.